Hi, I thought I would make a really quick video of what's for dinner. This is the last night of the World Series, and it's 2016, and I'm going to make a really quick, well, it's not really quick. I'm going to make a recipe that I heard about on YouTube, and I thought it was really good. So it is sweet and sour chicken. I got that recipe from She's in Her Apron, so if you haven't checked her channel out, definitely do so. So I'm making the sweet and sour chicken. I'm also going to make French fries, and I was at the store picking up a couple of different things, and this was on sale. It is a 2-pound container of chicken already prepared. It is barbecue chicken, chicken wings. So my husband's not wild about sweet and sour chicken or sweet food. So I thought I'd get him this and make some French fries, and then we'll also do the sweet and sour chicken. And if he does end up liking the sweet and sour chicken, then that's great. I'll know for sure. But at least he'll have something to eat. And then we might also have somebody come over and hang out with us, so we'll have plenty of food. I will bring you along as I kind of get this ready, but I got to take care of the potatoes first. What I'm going to do is cut up the potatoes, and I'm going to soak them in water for about half an hour. Then I'm going to pat them dry and put them in my hot oil. Got to be careful with the oil, and I've done some fry videos before. If you haven't seen those, definitely check those out. I have a really great beer batter recipe on my channel. Check that out. I'm not going to use that when I do the chicken. I'm just going to do the simple, I think she used egg and flour, but I'll have to look back on that video to find out for sure. But anyway, if you haven't checked out She's in Her Apron, do so, and I'll bring you back when I'm more towards the cooking part of this. Thanks. Okay, I'm cutting up the potato right now. I thought I'd just really quickly show you how I do it. These potatoes are Yukon Gold, and I feel, are the best when I make French fries. When I fry them up, I like to use these. So I cut it in half, and then I cut that again. It's just easier to kind of hold it when I cut it. Cut it again, and then I cut it, open it. And I'm going to make them thin. You can make them as thick as you want. You can cut them in different ways. I've also made potato chips, or you just cut rounds. But this is the way I'm going to do these. And then that's kind of thick, so I'm going to cut it again. And then I have water over here, and cold water, and those are the little eyes. I'm just going to take those off. It's not a big deal if you eat those. So, make these thin. I'm throwing them into cold water. It's not really ice cold, it's just cold. A little bit more in there. So that's kind of simple and easy. I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potatoes. Well, the potatoes have been sitting in cold water for about 10 minutes. I'm going to put them on a paper towel and dry them off. I've had my oil on for about 3 minutes, and I'll test that in just a minute. And grab my pot holder. I have, in this pan, sauteing, I have my peppers and onion. I have 3 different colored peppers, and what I did is only used half of the red, half of the yellow, and half of the green. And then I used a whole small onion, and that's sauteing. And if you don't know what sauteing is, it's just lightly cooking something. This is still going to be crunchy when I put it into my pan with my chicken. Put a little bit of oil on the bottom of your pan, and then throw your vegetables in, and just let them go. And I had it on kind of high to begin with. It was up to 4, so I turned it down to 2 right now. Put that over there. And then this here, the way I test my oil, I get my hand a little wet, and it's not ready yet. You want to just splash your water in there, and if it sizzles, that means your oil's hot enough. It's not hot enough right now, so I will wait on that. And while that's going, I'm going to drain I have them in this huge bowl, so I'm going to just put my hand over there to catch fries and let the water go out. And then I'll pat it dry. And of course, they're not going to be perfectly dry, but it'll be dry enough. And drop them in there. And I'll just kind of spread them out. I'll grab some other paper towels to dry them with too, probably. Just to get a good dried potato. And a little bit more. Okay, it's kind of coming up. It's on like 5.5. I'm gonna turn it up to 7. Okay. And everything is dark over here. I have my overhead light off because it kind of glares. I might end up having to turn that on though, guys. You can hear it popping. Bring me over. See how dark it is over here? Let's turn that on. Okay, you can kind of see the pop in. You can hear it pop. So I'm going to put some French fries in, or some potatoes, and let's see what's going to happen. And then I need to get out a pan, so when the potatoes are done, I'll put them on to another paper towel and sprinkle them with salt. And these aren't all the same size, so some are going to be probably crunchier than others. And what I should do is have a good thing to pick them up with, to drop them in. This is what I'll use to take them out for sure. Woo! And I decided to put my apron on because this is too messy. I don't want to get this shirt all dirty. That was a thick one. So that's about enough, I think, in there for right now. You don't want too many in there. You should have a paper towel. This is where I waste paper towels. We hardly ever use them. You stir this. It's more difficult to do 2 things at once, especially when it's something like this. You got to watch it. So try to just do it once. I'm back on time and everything, so all right, these here are good enough. They're going to be crunchy, and they're going to go into my plate. See the onion is, you know, flappy. I don't know if you can really see it, but, you know, that's what you want. Still crunchy. Yum. Ah. Over there. And let's get out. I'm going to set up a plate with paper plate and paper towel, and that's going to absorb the grease. Okay, and once this batch is done, I'm going to shut the camera off. Try not to make it a super long video. Okay. Yeah. This batch is going to take a little longer than what I thought. I'm going to shut this. I'm going to shut the camera off, and I'll bring you back when I'm closer to getting the potatoes done. Really quickly, I wanted to show you. The first batch is out, and they're really tasty. These here, it's bubbling really good, and they kind of stick a little bit, so I'm just kind of moving them around. I don't want them to stick together necessarily. And that one batch took about 10 minutes, but I think the oil was still warming up. I turned it down to about 5.5. And we'll see what's happening. Alright, I'm ready to cut up my chicken, so I thought I'd show you really quickly. Cutting the chicken. And I have, I think this is 3 chicken breast. And that's really big chicken breast. I might not use all of this. I hope the camera's picking this up okay. I'm going to cut it into chunks. I'm going to take off, there's some skin on there. I'll take that off. I don't want that on my meal. Just throw that down there. And I'm cooking the chicken up after the French fries because I don't want to mix raw meat with vegetable. I just don't think you should do that. Even though the potatoes are going to be cooked, everything is hot in there, I still don't feel safe putting raw meat in a container into a grease and then putting potatoes or anything else in it. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So I just cut it in chunks. I'm going to batter this with just a regular, I'll use that for something else. This is still edible. I'm just not going to play with it right now. What was I saying? I'm going to batter this with just egg and flour. I'll probably put some salt and pepper in my flour and maybe a little garlic. It's a little bit of a skin piece too. I'll take that off. And you can cut your chicken any way you want to. And on the recipe that I watched, she said that she's also done pork. So I thought that would be pretty good. Okay. I also added pineapple to my mixture of onion and pepper. Okay, I am going to wash my hands and shut the camera off and bring you back in just a few. Guys, I hope you can see the creative mess I have here. I cut up all my chicken. I'm going to dredge it into the egg first. I only used 2 eggs. I did not measure the flour. I did put some salt and pepper in there as well. I'm going to put the meat into the egg and then into the flour mixture and then into my frying. This is going to be super hot. I did turn it down because it was setting for a few minutes. Not too bad. Okay, I'm going to turn it up now. There. And this will fry up, and I have a pan over there ready to put it into. I'm going to dredge it, drop it down on my paper plate first to get some of that oil off. And I have a baking pan ready for it. And this is messy. Frying is always messy. I did decide to cook up all 3, or to cut up all 3 of those pieces. Whatever we don't eat can freeze, but you cannot, I have this meat frozen. You can't refreeze meat. So I have to cook it all up anyway. What a mess I'm making. I'm usually a neat cook, but that doesn't always work. I should have put this in a bag, and it's really not too late to do so. Okay, I gotta get that one piece of chicken down. It's kind of sticking up. I want everything to be in the oil. I'm gonna have to give this a few minutes to cook it. The french fries came out really good. Maybe I can do this. Make it a little neater. No, probably not. It's just going to be a messy meal. If you guys have never tried this, definitely do so. It's not really hard. My nasty towel here. These all mixed in. And this is just flour, salt, and pepper. Like I said, I did not mix or measure any of that. I will be measuring the sauce, and I will take you along on that. I'm going to shut this camera off and get the rest of this chicken done, and I'll bring you back. Well, I'm ready to put everything together. I have my chicken in here, and on the bottom of the pan, I did put some of my pepper and onion mix, and there's a pineapple in there. I always forget the name of those. So I did that, but there was too much chicken. So I put a little bit in here with onion and pineapple. I'm going to put sauce in this one as well. But I have a friend who doesn't like peppers, so I thought I'd share with her, and this one's here kind of for her. This, I'm going to put the rest of the onion, pepper, and pineapple mix on there. And then I'm going to make the sauce. So, here we go. With the sauce, I have everything measured out, and I'm going to drop it into the bowl. But as I do, I will tell you, excuse me as I grab my pan, as I do, I'll tell you how much is in everything. I need 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and she said you could also use honey. And then I have 1/2 cup of vinegar, and I just use regular white vinegar. And then I can drop those in my water. And then 2 to 3 tablespoons of ketchup. And we use Brooks ketchup because we love it. So let's do 1, 2, I'm only going to put 3 in there. 3 ketchups, 1 soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy. Oh, not too much. And you really shouldn't measure over your bowl like I'm doing, because if the whole thing fell out, you'd ruin everything. And then 1/4 of a cup of chicken broth. Put that in there. And then I'm going to mix it. Let me grab my whisk. And I'm actually going to save this out. I kind of cleaned up my mess, can't tell. And now I'm making another one. And she said with the cornstarch, you just add it to thicken it. And I'm going to put everything into my pan here, and I'm going to boil it all together with a little bit of cornstarch. I don't know how much cornstarch to use, so let's start off with 2 teaspoons. Turn this on, and she says, she as in the lady who did the recipe. I've never made this recipe, so you're coming along with me for the first time. I'm going to stir it up so I get my cornstarch all mixed in there. And cornstarch is a good thickener for a lot of different things. Okay, I have it on high. It's going to boil. And then when it comes to a boil, I will test the thickness. I might need to add more cornstarch, which I hope it's not going to throw everything off, and then I'll put it into my pan. Let's get rid of that, and that. I don't want those to spill. Grab my, just do that. I go through so much laundry when I cook. Okay, it's starting to kind of bubble around the sides. With the oil that I use, because I had raw chicken in there, even though the chicken cooked out and everything was really hot, I'm not going to reuse that. I'll end up throwing it away. If it was just the potatoes, then I wouldn't mind saving it, and I've done that before, but not with raw meat. I don't think it's safe. So just an FYI. And this kind of looks, it's a dark color. I'll bring you over here. It's a dark color. It's kind of, I guess because of the ketchup, of course. And the soy. The soy is dark. Doesn't that look yummy? I have my oven at 350, and it's already done its preheating, so it's ready to go. I'll put this in there for about 35-40 minutes, and everything will be cooked through and thorough, and all the yummy tastes will meld together. Woo. I think I'm going to add another teaspoon of that, hoping it's not going to mess it up. I should put cornstarch in a little bit of water or soy and mix it first, but it seems to be mixing up. Yeah, I think that's good. And I'm going to let it boil. You want it to kind of caramelize. It's really looking good. It looks like a brown gravy almost right now. Oh yeah, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch I think would be thick enough. If you want it thicker, you can use more, or if you don't want it thick, if you like it runny, go ahead and do it that way. Okay. It's bubbling perfectly. That's good and perfect. Okay, shut that off. Pour a little bit over this. I've never tried this, so I'm hoping it's going to come out good. A little bit on there. And then the rest of it, I'll pour on this. I'm going to throw that away. There. Doesn't that look good? And like I said, we are not going to be able to eat all this. I mean, it might just be my husband and I. And if so, by golly, gee, if he doesn't like it, I'm in real big trouble. But it'll freeze. It will freeze. And I had to cook all the meat up because it had been frozen already, and you cannot refreeze raw meat. So always remember that, guys. Always remember that. Okay. Should make more sauce, I think. And you know what? I think Kimmy did say that she made extra sauce. Put that in there. Okay. That's it. I'm going to pop it in the oven and take it out, and I'll give you a taste test later. Well, I have dished up myself a little bit of this meal, and I'm going to taste test it. So let's see. I have a little bit of rice in here. That's good. That is really good. The sauce, it's really a good sweet and sour sauce. I think next time I make it, I'll add double the sauce with the same amount of vegetables and meat. That's really good. Yeah. Perfect. That's really good. You guys, you definitely got to try this. You can go to, the recipe is on, she's in her apron. You can look her up and look up this recipe. Just real simple and easy. And if you like, well, it actually isn't too majorly simple because of the frying and stuff like that. But this meal probably would only take about an hour if I hadn't had the French fries to do as well. So, and then I baked it at 350 for about 40 minutes. So everything baked right in, and it is delicious. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment. And thank you very much for watching.